The next 4:05 p.m. start is Seattle Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers. Speak of the NFC West. Here you are, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, 71 Fahrenheit, mostly sunny, 11 miles per hour is the wind. Niners open up at -2.5. That was at -105. It's now at -116 at Pinnacle, an 11-cent move towards the Niners. And Heritage, UWager, Bodog, and Sports Interaction have moved it to -3. This total opened up at 52.5. It's still at 52.5 at Pinnacle, but there's been an 11-cent move to the under, and it's moved to 52 everywhere else. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this Seahawks-Niners spot. 4,854 tickets in, 69% of the tickets on the Seahawks, 78% of the cash. Then you have 62% of tickets on the under and 90% of the cash on the under, and it's moved a half point. Seahawks coming off a 30-17 loss in Minnesota, wasted the week earlier. They wasted a 14-point fourth quarter lead, lost in overtime to Tennessee. Russell Wilson, 23 of 32, 298 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. DK Metcalf was the main weapon, 6 catches for 107 yards, 1 touchdown. Chris Carson ran 12 times for 80 yards. And now these Seahawks are sitting here at 1-2 in a very, very competitive division. Defensively, Jamal Adams, 12 tackles. Bobby Wagner followed up the 20-tackle game with 11. But they didn't get enough pressure. 1 sack, 4 quarterback hits. Defensive end Benson Mayowa, neck injury, out. Then Kerry Hyder, concussion, left in the second quarter. Linebacker Jordan Brooks, leg cramps, was carted off in the fourth quarter. He should be fine. Jamarco Jones replaced Brandon Shell in the starting lineup at right tackle. And undrafted rookie Jake Curran took some snaps there too. There's a lot of question marks now all over for the Seahawks. Niners coming off a 30-28 loss at home to the Packers. Jimmy G, 25 of 40, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. There was times where I was losing hope in him while I was watching this game, and I sent you a text saying I would prefer not to watch him anymore. The call that Kyle Shanahan made at the end of the first half was brilliant. I spoke to my dad about it today because the reason why he's a brilliant coach, but I probably kicked the field goal there to make sure I have some momentum. Bringing in Trey Lance and putting the defense just confusing the defense, throwing all the wide receivers on the one side, and having Lance run to the other side. It was brilliant. George Kittle, 7 catches for 92 yards. Deebo Samuel, 5 receptions for 52 yards. But this rush attack, Bebsie, is looking awful. Trey Sermon, 10 carries for 31 yards. They lose Kawhi Williams to a calf injury and Josh Norman to a chest injury in the first half. So Kyle Shanahan says that Williams has a calf strain and will be out for a while. Elijah Mitchell, questionable. Kittle has a sore calf. He'll be day-to-day. Norman Chest spent Sunday night in the hospital. He hopes to play in week 4. And then Hasty on injured reserve, Givens on injured reserve, Greenlaw on injured reserve, and I could just keep going down the injured reserve list. But you know them. Tell me about this spot, Bebsie, Seahawks, Niners.
K1's out. They're saying Josh Norman's going to play. He had bruised lungs, and if you watch the play it happened on, it makes sense. It was the peanut punch play where he took a helmet directly to the chest. They said he's going to be fine, ready to go. Kittle's probably going to play through that calf injury. And I think they might get Mitchell back. He was a question mark for last week. The thing about Trey Sermon, if you watch him at Ohio State, he got stronger and stronger as the season and the game went on. So tough running attack. I don't think they have a ton of trust in him right now because you saw how many times they went to Kyle Juszczyk. But this is a season-defining game for both of these teams. If Seattle drops to 1-3 in this tough division, you're in a lot of trouble. If San Francisco drops to 2-2, losing to a divisional opponent, there's going to be a lot of doubt settling in, especially because, look, once again, the injuries are piling up for San Francisco. Their running back room is massively depleted. Their corners are already depleted big time. They're going to need Mosley, Lenore, and Norman to stay healthy. If they can, San Francisco can shut this team down. Tough loss, obviously. 37 seconds left in the game. You go up on Aaron Rodgers, but that's too much time for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't deserve to win the game, though. Like, we both watched it. They got outplayed. They got outplayed the whole game, and they managed to still be winning with 37 seconds left in the game, which should tell you how good of a team this is. Like, they played horribly for two quarters, mediocre for a third, and then started rolling. So if San Francisco starts on time at home against Seattle, they should roll in this game. Seattle's defense has got huge question marks. Their offense is up and down. Their running game has been uninspiring. And frankly, if this Niners team is going to take over this decade-long rivalry, which really, for the most part of it, has just been Seattle beating the shit out of them, it's now. They have to do it now. And look, I'm Jimmy Garoppolo. Week 1, he looked solid start to finish. Week 2 and week 3, he did what Jimmy Garoppolo does a lot, which is look shitty for the first quarter and a good chunk of the second. It's almost like he's got to settle down and get into it. And then he played fine throughout the rest of the game. Led them on a what would have been a game-winning touchdown drive. You'd be praising the way Jimmy G played if they won this game right now. So he needs to start on time. They need to overall just get this game going early. And also, Kyle Shanahan, for as genius as he is, and I love that play call. I hated that play call in real time until they scored the touchdown at the end of the half. But he has got to stop being so damn predictable in the first quarter. He just wants to right away start with this rush attack. And every team in the league knows it. They know Kyle Shanahan is running on first down on every single play for the first quarter, on every single drive, and they get stuffed. And it happened against the Eagles in week 2. It happened this week against Green Bay. It happened in week 1. So he's got to get less predictable in the first quarter. They have to jump out to a lead against the Seattle team, which this is going to be a tooth and nail dogfight that comes down the wire again.
K-Man Bet says the blueprint is there to beat the Seahawks, just run the ball down their throats. Are the Niners capable of running the ball down the Seahawks' throats?
Getting Elijah Mitchell back is huge, but also, like, I have a ton of faith in Trey Sermon. I just don't know if he believes in himself yet. He's a super talented running back, and listen, if he gets a couple of big runs early on in the game, look out, because he's more than capable of just chewing up yardage. And so I thought as the game went on again last week, I thought we saw better out of Sermon. You saw even early in the game they were running Kyle Juszczyk, who's a great player, but an outside zone speed runner, he is not. He's a fullback. So Elijah Mitchell being healthy is huge. But they're out Mostert for the year. They're out Jeff Wilson until probably week 8. They're out JaMychal Hasty. They're out Elijah Mitchell. That's 4 running backs that they were expected to, carry the load for them that are out right now. So that group needs to get healthy.
Raldi Mania says, I think the Niners defense struggles. Seahawks come out guns a-blazing. He says, big game from DK. Who's guarding him? Same goes for the slots. Patrick says, I'm a 49ers guy, but I don't see how we contain Lockett and Metcalf. Can you contain Lockett and Metcalf?
Look, I think you need to have Josh Norman healthy, because I think Josh Norman is nasty enough and tough enough to play against Lockett. I don't know. Mosley healthy will surprise me. He's played it well against him. He's also been torched by Lockett, or by Metcalf, rather. So it comes down to them applying pressure and guys stepping up. I don't think it's out of the realm of reality for them to be able to do it, but a lot of it has to do with Josh Norman being able to be healthy and then step up against DK, because the other two I don't think can. Deommodore Lenoir has, for a 5th-round rookie, he has played exceptional football so far. He's just simply too small to cover Metcalf, but he can probably cover Lockett.
Feels like a buy low spot on both teams. Are you interested in pulling the trigger here on the Niners at 2.5?
I can't when both of these teams are good, these games come down to the wire every damn time. For years, Seattle just kicked the shit out of San Francisco, but the Harbaugh years when they were great, it always came down to the final play of the game. And then since Shanahan got back, when they had a good team, it comes down to the wire.
It's going to be minus. Well, I shouldn't say it's going to be -3. The market's moving towards it being -3, but 70% of the tickets and 78% of the cash are on the Seahawks. So, but the market looks like it's moving to a 3. And a quick look on the total, Bebsie, $500 bet. The total at 52. Do you go over or under? Free $500 bet.
I go under. These two teams play each other tight.
They always do, don't they? They always do. Let's take a look at that. There, we have 62% of tickets, 90% of cash on the under. And then we have this total that opened up 52.5. It's still there, Pinnacle. That under does make a ton of sense, doesn't it? I think that I'm going to be adding the under to my breakdown. Now, is the under a mess if Norman doesn't come back? Is he a key part of this under?
Look, Josh Norman, to me, when they drafted or when they signed him a couple weeks ago, I was like, who cares about Josh Norman? He's washed. But if you watch Josh Norman play, he's played well. He's played like gritty defense for them. He's impressed me. I didn't give a shit about that signing. And then you saw him play in week 2, and I was like, okay, Josh Norman can play ball. And he looked good this week. When he got hurt, that secondary became ultra vulnerable. So he's I can't believe I'm saying it. He's an important part of this defense right now. And I think he's the only one. Maybe Mosley. Mosley has done a good job in the past shutting down, like I said, DK, but he's also got torched by DK. So
the under seems very, very interesting at this point. I'm going to have to study it more before I make a decision. Again, we tweet out official plays, and we can, while we can't promise you winners, we can promise you honesty and transparency.